We're halfway to the May primary. 6 months from now, voters, particularly in the 5th district, are going to have a choice they're going to have to make from all the candidates and whoever is still standing. And this week, we're talking to the challengers, Luke Messer, Mike Murphy, Rose McVeigh, and John McGough. And so we're starting out this week with no stranger to this program. And I get along well with all candidates, ladies and gentlemen, so we have no dog in the hunt. We're just trying to bring folks to you, so you folks in the 5th District can make up your own mind. Join us in studio, longtime friend of this program, Luke Messer. Luke, good morning.
Abdul, good morning.
Thank you very much for being with us. We do appreciate it.
Are you enjoying that extra hour of sleep today after the daylight saving time?
I'm just happy Indiana is on daylight savings time, because having come from the real world where it existed, it's like, folks, this really isn't all that bad. Lift your microphone up just a little bit. That way we can hear you a lot more clear. All right.
Okay.
So you had an extra hour apparently to campaign. So let me ask you, over in the 5th District, how's everything going?
It's going great, Abdul. When we started out on this campaign, made our announcement in April, obviously we thought that it was important. We had a change in the 5th District or we wouldn't have entered the race. But there were multiple candidates in the race, and we really didn't know how those next 6 months would go. And the response has been amazing. We've, by large percentage points, outraised all of our other opponents. We just released last week an endorsement list of over 500 grassroots volunteers, over 100 elected officials in the district. And, it's very clear in this country. I think it's something that your radio program's been tapping onto for, multiple years now. People are concerned by the leadership they're seeing out of both parties in Washington. They don't like a lot of the liberal programs. They're watching out of Washington's current liberal elite. But the Republican Party has a long way to go to win back the hearts and minds of the American people. And we've seen that people are looking for new positive leadership. It's been exciting.
Now, obviously, this is a sort of a 5-man race right now, including the incumbent. There have been some talk that as long as all 4 of you guys, you, Mike Murphy, Rose McVeigh, John McGough, are all in the race, you basically guarantee the incumbent a re-elect victory just by simple plurality, because incumbents always enjoy a certain base of support. How's your campaign sort of reacted to that, and any plans to drop out anytime soon if you're not at a certain point? This is the question everybody's going to get asked. So.
Yeah, well, first off, I'm not sure that having 5 candidates in the race means Dan Burton won't win. His re-elect in polling I've seen is in the low 30s. So the question is, can somebody get into the mid 30s or 40s with that number of candidates in the race? We're working really hard to build the kind of campaign it would take to do that. I do think it's true that if there were 1 or 2 fewer candidates in the race, that it would be a little bit easier to draw those contrasts with the incumbent congressman. But the people of this district want new leadership. In this district, it's a conservative district, so they're looking for the next generation of conservative leadership to step forward. There has been some talk in this race about trying to consolidate the field. Our attitude from the very beginning has been that there's no substitute for hard work. That's why we've worked to build a team of over 1,500 people on our Facebook page and 500 plus endorsements and raise the dollars it takes to be competitive. And we continue to believe if we stay focused on that, stay focused on the future of our country and our conservative principles, that we'll be just fine when it comes Election Day next May.
Now, in that 5th District race, you say, never bet against the voters. Which section of the 5th District, in your opinion, is going to make or break whoever wins? Is it the southern part? Is it the Hamilton County, Marion County part? Is it a little bit further north? Where's the contest? Where's the sort of the trench warfare going to be?
Well, I think it breaks down almost into 3 areas, Abdul, and they are this. In the last election, half the district half the voters in the district were in Marion and Hamilton County, and Dan Burton lost that half of the district. He won the district because he won the northern third of the district, and then the Shelby County, Hancock County, Johnson County portions of the district, basically 2-1. So what someone has to do if they want to win is duplicate at least what was done in Hamilton and Marion County, and then pick up significant votes in the Hancock, Shelby Johnson area and in the northern third of the district. I'm from the Shelby area. That's where I served as a state legislature. Dan Burton won there by 1,000 votes last time. He's probably not going to win there by 1,000 votes this time. That's my hometown, my home area. We've got 36 local elected official endorsements, over 100 people out for us already. Hancock County, I tell you, the environment's changed. And even north, you mentioned this before we got on the air, the economy is really struggling up in that area of the state. It's an automobile manufacturing rooted economy, agriculture rooted economy as well. And as we go up to meetings there, we're finding dozens of people coming out to a breakfast, coming out to a lunch, coming out to an evening reception in an individual county, including a lot of local elected officials. And so I think the environment for change up in that district is ripe in this election as well.
So let me just ask you, like I said, the view from far away is always a little bit different than the view on the ground. But when you look at what's happening in New York 23, you have a more conservative candidate, a Republican or conservative, so to speak. You had the sort of the standard Republican picked by the county chairman, had to sort of bow out of the race. Does that raise flags, for you folks as Republicans nationwide as you walk into the 2010 midterm elections? Because there's talk that whatever happens there will have a big impact on what happens next year.
Well, I think one of the things you have to understand about New York 23 was the uniqueness of that Republican candidate, at least in particular from Indiana terms. She is more liberal on a whole host of issues than any elected high-profile Democrat that I know in the state of Indiana. So she really was not someone who represented sort of the mainstream of the Republican Party. The Tea Party candidate, the conservative, really was somebody who, on a whole host of issues, life, Second Amendment, taxation, gay marriage, would have represented sort of the mainstream of what is a relatively rural conservative district in New York City. So I think some can be overread into that circumstance. I will tell you this, it's something I'm seeing as I'm out traveling around in all the 11 counties of the 5th District. There is something stirring in this country, and we are, for the very first time in this country, well, not for the first time in a while, having a big debate about what the true role of government should be in our lives. There are some who believe we need to be protected by government, others who I'm more closely aligned with who think we need to be protected from government.